Hey everyone, Secret Sinner here, hope you're all doing well. So I've got another Epic 7 video for you all today. I actually got lucky and managed to pull Orte, managed to build her. So I thought I'd record my findings of testing her in Champion Arena. This is the build I managed to put together. As you can see, she's on speed and crit. I'll show you the gear in a minute. The average speed I've got across my set is only 15.6 across the pieces excluding the boots. So it's actually quite attainable for most mid-game players. I ran her on Symbol, but Elya's Knife and Windrider were also good options for her. So they were all pretty comparable in damage. So I'll let you guys see the gameplay and you can decide what you think she's like.
My sword.
This was not actually my first game played, I just wanted to show how Orte performs into Rem. I think she hard counters Rem pretty well because she's single target, she doesn't actually proc Rem's S2 Iron Strike passive, so she can't AoE counter, she can only single target counter as you see. And typically she doesn't deal enough damage into a grass unit to be able to kill her, so she's quite a hard counter. And as you can see, I don't even have that much speed on her, so she still managed to penetrate through an FCC shield and deal enough damage to kill her in the 2 hits, which was quite good damage.
The time has come to place a no avoiding your fate. Disappear.
I expected this.
I left this fighting to be a bit of a teachable moment to anybody watching, that because Politis passive procs off Conquer Lilius and takes some health off Orte, she won't actually proc the double hit on her attack, as you see here. So this was a bit of a noob moment on my behalf, but if anybody learns from this, just don't bring her into anybody who could hit her first and deal any damage to her. I did still win the fight, but I think it got pretty hard carried by Rimuru and Straz here, so yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, she is like a really good counter to Rem. So even for new players, she's low investment because she's a 3-star. So you don't actually need any Molagora for her. And obviously my gear quality is not that high. Other people might be able to get her much faster, run her on a pen set, which will increase her damage. Like you see there, she didn't deal much with the S1, but that's not too bad. I've not got her at max crit without the perception buff, so for me she needs the perception buff to be at 100%, which she only gets from the S3 if she procs it when she's on full health when she starts her turn.
I'll make you kneel for forming.
In this fight I didn't expect my Orte to straight up outspeed the Kizzy. I thought it would be a lot higher speed, and my plan was to push back with Sea Lilius and then deal with it that way, but I actually outsped and just managed to one-shot with Orte. So it went into water units, she's quite strong, deals a lot of damage with the double hit. And when she kills somebody, it sets my Straz up to go because my Straz is on Azor Comet, so he gets the CR push from anybody dying. Sometimes it just ends up being Orte that dies, which still pushes him, so it kind of works both ways, but a little bit of synergy there that this team had. Rimuru and Straz are obviously very strong into this as well. Orte's probably not the strongest of units, but in this fight I wanted to try her into the Maid Chloe, and as you'll see she doesn't actually have enough damage to one-shot, but that could be down to my gear quality. If I could get her on higher speeds and on pen set, she probably, or maybe, would have had enough damage there to deal with her. Quite a few top meta units in this with the Belian and the AOL, but again I think it gets a little bit hard carried by the Rimuru and the Straz. But this was just really for me a damage test into the Maid to see what she was like. Luckily the Rimuru put defense break on everyone, and then Straz managed to cleave the entire team down. Obviously they revived, but the health's quite low now, so it's not that big of a deal to clean up. And with the vigor buff across the team, nobody takes that much damage. Well, Orte does die, but because of the revive buff that Rimuru managed to steal, she gets revived. And it's just clean up from there really. So Orte wasn't really an MVP in this fight whatsoever, but again, it was just a bit of a test on my behalf. another damage test on my behalf. I wanted to see what she was likely to Belian. You know, she deals about 50% health across the 2 hits, which is not a massive amount, but I think with high gear quality, if you're pushing 300 speed and slightly more offensive stats than me, because my speed gear is not that good at all, this was kind of just gear that I got off my Pavel, just to test her out, see what she was like damage wise. You guys probably got much better and higher gear quality than me, probably build you a lot better. But the team did still work, dealing enough damage to the Belian, and then the defense break from Rimuru just let Straz cleave everything up. This was a 0 mitigation team that I came across. I wanted to do a damage test on the Rem, which you can see just over 11k and then 15k, so there's not many Rems that can survive that. So she is a really good free-to-play option to deal with Rem if you're struggling with her really at any point in the arena, because she's technically free to build. Don't need that high gear quality, as you can see from mine. Having an average of 15 speed across your pieces is not that difficult to get. I don't think so anyway. But anything higher than that, and you'd have to ask yourself whether it was worth using that high gear quality on a 3-star to deal with Rem. But that's up to you guys to decide on that one. So again, Straz just cleaning up.
I'll take your life. I'll make you kneel.
Another fight into Rem here. So I use the same team again: Lilius, Straz, Rimuru. Very easy kill there, which pushes the Straz up and lets Straz use his S3. He hasn't got attack buff, but he's got Vigor, so 30% attack, and the War Point from Lilius does give him the extra attack boost as well. So that was like a 2 for 2. Orte dealt with the Rem and Straz dealt with another unit, and then it's just clean up from there. So it was quite a good, not quite cleave team, but close to cleave team. Facilitated a little bit by Lilius, but
I won't waste my breath.
I think this setup on my Orte could deal with Rems at most levels of gear and across all stages of PvP really, so if you are having any difficulty with her. So this was the first game I actually played with Orte, and it was a team that beat me, and I revenge fighted them, and I went into the Fairy Tale Tenebria. So that was the first time I'd seen a damage, so I thought, okay, it's not too bad. The Rowell is kind of out of place here on this team, but I wasn't sure how to run her at first. I wasn't sure what her performance was going to be like, so it was a little bit of a test run on my behalf just to see how she performed. The Rem was here because I know she deals well with this team, having the Ravi and the Spectenny. I knew she'd be able to deal with that quite well, but I was pleasantly surprised when Orte managed to take out the Fairy Tale, because I knew the speed would be quite high on Fairy Tale. The plan was to push back with Concrelilius if need be, and then see what Orte's damage was like. But it did work out anyway, which is good. But Orte just doesn't have any survivability, which is quite an annoying part with her, because once she gets in and deals with a unit, she's pretty much gone after that. Any hit from anyone nearly, and she just kind of crumbles. But as long as you can get her in to deal that one shot on the unit that you want, which is normally the Rem, then she's kind of done her job. It's 1 for 1, and Rem's out of the way completely, if that's what you want her for. But as I've said previous, high gear quality, she probably could take out some other units quite easily, but I wasn't able to test that with the gear quality that I've got. The damage was still good, but it wasn't enough to one-shot someone. But I suppose being a 3-star, it might not be her actual job to one-shot some of the big tanky units. I think Smilegate would just put her in to deal with Rem, or a free-to-play option to deal with Rem, which she does perfectly at 0 investment, so it's quite good there.
You want to see some blood?
I'll take your life.
And this is the same team again. He revenged me, so I revenged back and just used the same cleave team that I was using earlier. And as you can see, just deals with Fairy Tale again. So that's the last fight. And I would just like to say to everybody, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like and a comment. Let me know what you enjoyed, and if you didn't enjoy it even, I'd like to know anyway. So I'll let this video play out, and I'd just like to say thank you for watching. And if you do like the content and want to be kept up to date with it, then please consider subscribing to the channel. It'll mean a lot to me and it helps out greatly. So thank you all, and Secret Sinner out.